the funeral of Pope Francis had come and gone, but it left behind a memory, a scenario in me that I keep wondering about. The presence in Rome for the funeral, the presence of Donald Trump from America, Volodymyr Zelensky from Ukraine, Keir Starmer from the UK, Emmanuel Macron from France, from Nigeria, prominently, Peter Obi was there, and probably to represent Nigeria, Nigeria's Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, was also in Rome to attend the funeral. My wondering is about what did they go to do in Rome? When I was in the seminary in the 1977 to 1981, in SS Peter and Paul Catholic Major Seminary, Bodija, Ibadan. I was there 1977 to 1981 before proceeding to Rome for further studies. Thanks to my Bishop Julius Babatunde Adelakun. May God continue to sustain him. Our rector then, Monsignor Patrick Ugboku from Asaba, the current capital of Delta State. We used to find the Monsignor very funny and amazing, because if you went to him to ask for permission to go to attend the burial of your father, Monsignor will ask you whether you are going there to wake him up. Of course, he will allow you to go, but the fact that he said such a thing was funny. If you went to him to ask for permission to attend the wedding of your biological sister, Monsignor will ask you whether the marriage will not hold if you were not there. Funny things like that. But why would the Monsignor ask whether you are going to attend the funeral of your father to wake him? You know, that's, you would think is inhuman, or, you know, it's not just funny, but there's something strange about that type of reaction. But if you hear the story of Monsignor's experience, Monsignor Ogboko's experience, you will understand why he appeared heartless or inhuman. It was during the Biafra War, Nigeria versus Biafra. The story is that the Nigerian army rounded up all the men in Asaba, Monsignor's hometown, and killed all the men so that they won't join the Biafra war. He was spared because he was a reverend father. So, what else do you want to tell him about death? That was his background. But now, Monsignor just came to my mind. What did they go to Rome to do? These people that I've mentioned, these world leaders. And you can also see that the world that they are leading is in war, is chaotic, is becoming more and more economically bankrupt. Is it America that is not in economic crisis under Trump? Or is it Ukraine that is facing unimaginable war with Russia? Keir Starmer from the UK, Emmanuel Macron from France. These are NATO leaders, front leaders, who, I don't want to say pushed Ukraine to be counter-attacking Russia. Well, from what I read, Russia, like Israel, was represented at the funeral. Only that Putin did not go. Only China stayed away altogether, said nothing about being represented or attending. And so China will seem to conform to Monsignor Ogboko's philosophy. Are you going there to wake him? But look at also our own Nigeria. I want to assume represented by Godswill Akpabio, Nigeria's Senate President. What is the security situation in Nigeria? What is the economic situation of Nigeria? So all this going to Rome for the funeral of Pope Francis, was it just to identify with him as a world leader, or out of holiness, or what? I have not overcome the scenario and its implication. So, if the Holy Father was appreciated, but of course the Holy Father, Pope Francis, did not play altogether an acceptable intervention in the war in Gaza. He simply joined other people in cautioning Israel against genocide. And I replied him in my own little way that he should also address the grouse of Israel, and not just to condemn Israel, accuse Israel of genocide. So that may explain why Israel was not really enthusiastic about attending the funeral, and only asked the ambassador in Rome to attend on behalf of Israel. Godswill Akpabio is running a Senate that people, Nigerians, have come to regard as the rubber stamp of whatever the executive arm of government in Nigeria is doing, rather than helping to put Nigeria, with particular reference to the presidency, on its toes. So, then the funeral has come and gone. What has the world derived from his demise? And what, of course, I don't know what we should have expected. Neither have I seen anything spectacular as a form of change of heart. If it's going to come or it's on the way, we keep our fingers crossed. Because as Pope Francis came and left till eternity, so each and every one of us, we depart this world eventually. Usually shorter time than we thought. So, what will become of Nigeria now? What will become of Ukraine, Russia, Gaza, Israel? Economic corruption, religious crisis that is destabilizing our world. Nigeria as a case study.